Hi, it's Andy Phillips here and welcome to the Campaign Ignition sequence. This is the 21-day business and digital marketing training course. It's day 11, and today we're going to be looking at automations and how you can use automations within your business, and tomorrow I'm going to look at some of the triggers to those automations. So I want you to start thinking about automations in a completely different way. When we first started this training, I showed you a way of creating a lead generation page, which was this one here. So we created this page, we put a form on it, and we sent people through to a delivery page to get the download that you promised them, and then we sent them into a sequence which we called the bridge to offer sequence. And if I can just show you this is what we actually set up, this one here. So this was the bridge to offer sequence. So anybody that was tagged when they signed up for the giveaway, anybody that was tagged with the 5 points of conversion PDF is added to this sequence. So what we've got here is we've got an initial follow-up email. We waited 24 hours, we sent a bridge email with some content, and then we sent another bridge email with some content. You can put as many of these on as you want. Then we wait another 24 hours. Then we sent them to a webinar replay where we'd actually sell them a course or a download or something. It's a sales page, or it's a webinar that leads to a sale. That could be just a normal sales page. But I want you to think of automations within your business, maybe in a slightly different way, because there are many different ways of actually putting people into an automation. And one of the ways that I've started using quite regularly now is building automations without worrying about how I'm going to get people into it to start with, and then looking at different ways to put people into that automation, if that makes sense. So in other words, what we can do is if we go back to automations and we just create a new automation. Now we can create them from scratch. You've probably seen this pop up before. If you're using this, you would have probably seen this. And there's lots of different automations that are sitting in here already for you to use. They're all pre-done automations ready for you to use, and you can just change the content as you go. But most of the time, what I want you to do is to start thinking about very, very simple bridge to offer type automations, and you can do those from scratch very, very easily. We've already created one. But you can also use some of these if you want to. So this one is a product interest targeted follow-up, and it's a very similar sort of thing to the sort of bridge to offer sequence. So for now I'm just going to create this. Okay, now because it's an automation that's already been put together, they've got some notes here which you can have a look at, and you can read these and find out how to use them. And it's actually quite interesting to look at some of the pre-built template automations they have, because you do learn quite a lot from that. But at the moment, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and I'm going to take this this tag that they put on. I'm going to take it off, and I'm put this don't have a trigger for your automation. So we don't have any way of starting this automation right now. But the beauty of this means that what you can actually do is create automations like a bridge to offer type sequences, these automations for your different products and services, and not worry about how you're going to send people in there, because you can always do that later. So for instance, you can do a bridge sequence where you don't have anything in here, so we don't have to wait. So as soon as the sequence starts, they're going to get an email. So we know that whatever we do to put them in there, whether that's going through a Facebook ad, going through an opt-in like we did before with an opt-in form on a lead generation page, or if it's just sending them to a page, sending them to a link, or sending out an email and getting them to click on a link that starts an automation. There's so many different ways of starting automations, which is why this software is so powerful. But to forget how you get people into them straight away and just start creating automations, bridge automations, which are sequences to go to an offer, so which you can do here. So this one has send email, and it says content related to interest. So this is the one which was a predetermined one, but you can see this is a very, very simple bridge to offer sequence. So you can just create it from here. So you can just put this in there, click on edit. It will open up the email template, so you can pick whichever email template you want and start writing. So as long as you know what content you want to put in there, you have to predetermine some of this information, but you can just use whatever designs you want. So this is We could call this a welcome. Okay, so we just call it a welcome email. Okay, so now you can change the text on this and do whatever you want with it. I'm just going to click on next and just finish that. So I'm not going to change the text on here. This is just to show you the sort of things you can do. So now we've actually got an email sitting on here, and this is, again, we do exactly the same thing again. These are waiting for 4 days and 5 days and 5 days. You can change these to any time you want. So if you want this to go 3 days later, you can do that. So you can change them however you want them to look and whatever pace you want those to go out. So now what we want to do is just click on activate, and that's it. You've actually created a sequence, and you can do the same thing for every single product or service that you have. And now you have a bunch of sequences that you can decide what to do for people to go onto those sequences. So you might send an email out to all the people on your list, everybody that's on your list, and ask them a simple question. Are you interested in A, B or C? And you can put 3 different links in, and wherever link those people click on will send them into an automation of your choice. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. So the task today is to set up a few automation sequences, some bridge to offer sequences, and this is what takes the time. It's about writing the emails, what content you're going to be putting in that builds your reputation, your authority, your visibility with that client, and gets them to engage with you. Content really genuinely is king in this. So you may send them out to blog posts with very interesting information or ways of doing something, some how-to videos, that sort of thing, to build up a reputation and authority with those people until you get to the bottom of this where you actually offer a related product or service. That's why it's called a bridge to offer sequence. We're bridging to an offer. So that's the task today, is to start thinking about what content you're going to be putting in and start creating that content and putting it into a few of these different sequences without any entry points or any trigger points. So that's today's task. Tomorrow I'm going to show you a few different ways of getting people into these campaigns and how you can use them to go from one campaign to another.